Hey, what's up, everybody? I am so excited today because I have singer-songwriter and Dreamality alum Adithya with us today. It's really exciting
Hey
because,
y'all.
hey, what's up? Today is the day that he released his second single. It's called Slow Motion. It's a banger. I love it. I love it. I've been listening to it all day long. Yeah, how are you feeling? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Yeah. I mean, this one has been a very long time coming. I've been writing this song and really, thinking about it for a long time. So kind of putting it out feels great, feels great. There's a little bit of nerves, just to see how people like receive it. I feel like that's always a thing.
Of course.
But so far the response has been great. So yeah.
As it should be. You really you put your heart and soul into it, and I mean I go for vocals. That's what always grabs me
Hmm.
first about a song. That's everybody has their preference, but for me, the vocals are the most important thing when I listen to a song. And from your very first note, it grabs me. So round of
Thank you.
applause.
I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Of course. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of a walk down memory lane with you.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
to all of our watchers, I met Aditya when he was, I think you were around 9 years old. You were you were very
That
very
sounds
young.
about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard you sing. It was at a religious function, and you sang a bhajan, which is like an Indian hymn. And I was like,
Mhm.
hearken, what is that? A cultured voice. At such a young age, I could hear, so much potential. And I remember going to your parents and introducing myself, and then just it was like a few days later, they had you taking voice lessons with me, and we were doing Carnatic voice lessons, and you can hear it in the way
Yep.
you sing. You can hear that strong, strong foundation of Carnatic vocal as well as like that mix of soul. Because I heard even as a
Hmm.
kid, I could hear that you were kind of, whether you knew it or not, I was like, you would make a really good R&B singer one day, and
Hmm.
I had you singing Stevie Wonder, Brian McKnight, and a bunch of other
Hmm.
R&B songs, and I think one of your first recital performances that had the whole crowd going was Just the Way You Are, Bruno Mars.
Yes, I think that was actually like the first time I like sang in front of an audience.
Oh,
Like that's the first because like I had just been singing, like growing up around my parents and them singing also, just like
yeah,
singing whenever I had the chance. But then I think that was like the first time I actually sang on a stage was
yeah.
that song. So
And that's another thing. Your
yeah.
parents are both really good singers, and the apple doesn't fall
Hmm.
far from the tree. And even your brother, Pranav, your younger brother, is also a really good singer. So
Yeah.
it's all in the family. And yeah, you grew, and you also played piano, and that's
Hmm.
still in your fingers. Whether do you still play a little bit or mess around?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm a little bit out of touch, I will admit, but like I do get back to it every now and then. Yeah.
Like riding a bike. Once you know your
Yeah.
chords, you just bang it out. But yeah, so I remember you performing at our very first Dreamality benefit back in 2013.
Hmm.
You were on the piano singing and
Hmm.
playing, and then you also cut your first record, your first solo record at 14 years old. You
That's
recorded
right.
with Dreamality co-founder Quincy Patrick, a Grammy award-winning music producer, and he wrote a song for you called "I'll
Hmm.
Be Here," which is kind of a spin-off. It was very Michael Jackson-esque or
Yep.
Jackson 5
Yep.
and you
Uh-huh.
killed that. You did so good at just 14. We even did a music video. And do you remember
Hmm.
those
Yep.
days? Do you remember that?
I do. I actually very vividly remember like you like bringing me to the mall and telling me I have to get all white shoes, even though I was in my like Skechers sneakers era at that
Oh
time,
my
and I was not
gosh.
feeling it.
I
And then
didn't
we
know
went to
that. Oh
like
my
the
god.
park, and then
Wow.
like there was like the big light and everything. I was like, it was a lot for me as like a 13, 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was a good experience.
You broke all of New Jersey's heart when you moved to Texas. At the time, you were
Yeah.
my most talented student, and it was like, he's leaving us. And I honestly was a
Yeah.
little, I was like, So what's going to happen with your music? Are you going to continue with it? I think,
Mm-hmm.
being all the way out in Houston,
Mm-hmm.
I truly thoroughly enjoyed mentoring you, working with you, and I think we tried to do some things online, but over time it just kind of, you got busy with school, and then you went off to college, and I was like, I wonder if he's like still singing, and then bam,
Yeah.
I see you on TikTok, like,
Out on scene.
right, and I
Yeah.
was like, he still got it, and in fact, he's got it better than ever. You have been singing through that whole time, and
That whole time. Yeah.
you tell me about TikTok, how it popped off with growing your fan base on TikTok, because you're doing really really well there too.
Yeah, no, I mean it's interesting. I feel like the industry right now is very much driven by like social media and marketing. And so
Yeah.
like I felt like back in like, 2020, 2021, like I feel like I wasn't really the first to get on the wave, like a lot of people were on it. And I was like, okay, what is this? Like still kind of in that like explorative phase. And then
Mhm.
I started posting a little more and like following what was trending at that time. And yeah, I saw a lot of kind of early great response from a lot of, people. And I think what's powerful about TikTok is it reaches such wide, like global audiences,
Right.
compared to like if you were to perform just like a solo concert in your local town, right? Like the aunties and uncles would hear you and
Exactly.
maybe their children, and that's it,
Yeah.
But TikTok really was like, um, when I saw the stats for my first song, right? Like that's when it really hit me. Like there was like listeners in South Africa, people in Brazil, and like all these different places. And I was like, wow, this is a powerful tool. It was great just like being able to see how far reaching it was. Um, yeah.
It's a
So
whole world
it's
out
been
there.
good.
Because once again, going back to the nuts and bolts of it all, we live in a time where music is being recorded in people's bedrooms, in their garages. You don't need
Mm-hmm.
like a whole big
Mm-hmm.
studio, but I think
Mm-hmm.
what you have is you have the vocals, you have that voice, and it's something that
Yeah.
in a day where auto tune is used rampantly,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it can be a cool effect, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we can hear whether there's that authenticity, that organicness in your voice. We're so proud of you, and I want people to take a listen, if it's all right, to
Yeah,
this
yeah, for
slow
sure. Let's do
motion.
it.
Like I
Let's do
said, I've
it.
been listening to it all day, but I can't get enough of it. So here we are.
Control, I feel a rush when I look deep in your eyes. Your every touch, you make me feel so alive. Yeah, feeling so comfortable in my bed. Yeah, my bed. Gathering all one space with no one else. 'Cause I'm inspired, it's heavenly. Got no desires but your company. Slow motion.
Man, I mean, you have a very rich tone as well. Your tone is very rich.
Mm.
It's reminiscent of Giveon. You're giving me Giveon vibes.
Hey, well, that is definitely he's definitely been one of my recent, I think, biggest influences, I'll
Yeah.
say, for sure. I mean, like that, I think a while back it used to be like when I was younger, it used to be kind of the old school R&B sound, like you were saying, right? Like Stevie Wonder.
Good.
I would listen to a lot, right? And like Michael Jackson and all of them. And then now it's like I take a lot of influence from that contemporary R&B sound. Giveon being one of the major, yeah, the
Yeah.
major players right now, I'd say. Um, so yeah,
No,
yeah.
I mean, you can hear it, and I mean, I think that old school, new school is what contributes to, you sounding like Adithya,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I have to ask you because I always knew you could sing and play piano, and I had no idea that you wrote. So when did this songwriting bug like come about?
Yeah, to be honest, like, so I did songwrite a bit, like I'll say back in high school, which is now like 5 or 6 years ago. So I did a little bit of songwriting there. I dabbled a little bit. But I feel like at that time I was like really just a singer, you know?
Yeah.
And then I don't think it was until like, you know, late in college and even post college that I really kind of became an artist. I know it sounds tacky, but like I feel like there was a time when I finally discovered I was like, yes, I am capable of like creating my own original stuff that is like thoughtful, meaningful for me, you know, builds on my personal experiences. And so really it was like that turning point was really like just last summer is when I really started taking it seriously and saying like, hey, by the end of this year, I want to put something out that like I'm proud of, right? Um, and so it started from there, and ever since then, I mean, I've been cooking.
You've been cooking. You've been in that kitchen for sure.
Yeah.
I can't decide which one I like more, embrace or slow motion. So that's a good thing. Do you have any other
Yeah. No,
experience?
I always think it's good. I always think it's good when like different people give me different opinions on which one they like better, because that tells you, right? Like whenever people are like arguing over a recent EP that comes out and they don't know which one's the best song, that's like the best feeling for an
It's a great
artist, I feel
feeling.
like.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, that you kind of constantly as an artist, you're like you want to feel like you're given something new or different or better than the previous single.
Yeah.
Like you're growing.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
the good news is this kind of you could hear it playing on that playlist, and like some of the artists that played after your song, it was right in line with
Mm,
it. You know, I think Pink Sweats was right afterwards. So you're right in that
okay.
lineup, you know, of R&B
Hmm.
singers, and I mean, I think that your future is very, very bright as an R&B singer. Do you have any more music coming out?
I do got a couple other songs I'm working on right now. I will say I'm in, you know, kind of similar direction, like contemporary R&B. I'm starting to experiment a little more with like more upbeat songs, I'll
All right.
say.
Yeah.
I feel like my tendency, at least the first two singles, have been
Yeah.
kind of chill, laid back
Chill.
vibe. Um, so yeah, I'm starting to experiment with it. But yeah, I mean, I got a couple things.
All good stuff. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to. And one thing before I let you go is I feel like I know you. I've known you you and your family for so
Hmm.
long. On top of being so talented, you're very humble, and I think that humility in this industry is it's underrated, and
Mm.
I feel like the ones who are masters at this, they are some of the most humble people. Like, and I'm talking about like the Stevie Wonders. If you were to ever meet
Yeah.
these masters, they would act like they know nothing because they're like students
Yeah.
themselves. They're constantly, as you grow, you
Hmm.
learn. Like what did they say? The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And
Yeah.
with
Yep.
you, I've always felt like you're a student at the same time. As you're creating, you're also learning what works, what
Hmm.
doesn't work, and that's why you continue to be so humble. And you know, we love you for that, and you know, we're always here. Q and I are always here to support you, help you out in any way, even if it's just feedback. I mean, the fact that you wrote,
Hmm.
produced, and I think you mixed this too.
Yeah. So I didn't produce it,
Okay.
but I did write you know, all the music and lyrics, and then yeah, I mixed and
Mixed
mastered
it.
this one
That's incredible.
myself. Um which
That's a
yeah,
whole
that you know,
art.
that was a huge learning curve.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I try and I really do try and embody that like that perspective of like always wanting to grow and learn. Because yeah, I mean, I feel like you know, even in the position I'm in right now, like having, you know, gone through vocal lessons, piano lessons, and been involved in music for a long time, I still feel like I don't know like
Right.
a fraction of like the knowledge that's there, you know?
Same.
So it's like, yeah, I mean it's great to see that like that's the vibe I'm giving off. But
Yes.
yeah.
Because it makes other people want to work with you even more and like share.
Hmm.
share ideas.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And I think that you exploring mixing and mastering in itself says a lot. You know, our motto is dream out loud here at Dreamality Inc. And you're totally dreaming out loud in all
For
the
sure.
right ways. I forgot to mention, you have a degree in what, chemistry? What?
Chemical engineering.
Chemical engineering. Guys, he has a degree
Yep.
on top of all this. He works a 9 to 5, right? And you're
Yeah, I
making
do.
music when you're not working. This is clearly your passion. Clearly your passion.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. For sure.
It's a way to do it all.
Yeah, I know. I got my 9 to 5 and I got my 5 to 9. You know, like I come home from work and I go immediately into my bedroom and I start recording music. I start, you know, putting melodies and lyrics together, and it's like it's a grind, but it's fun, you know. So
it's fun. It's fun. It's a grind. But
yeah, it's fun.
When you have days like this, the big release day, it all kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's rewarding for sure.
I'm sure your parents are proud of you too.
Yes, of course. They've always been supportive. You know that.
I know that. All right. Well, best of luck with everything, and keep us posted on all the latest. All right.
Of course.
Check out Adithya's new single, Slow Motion, and while you're there, listen to his first single as well, Embrace. You're not going to be disappointed, especially to all my R&B heads out there. You're going to love his music. Add him to your playlists today. All right, y'all.
Let's go.
Bye.
All right. Bye.